Hello, my name is AakashGosavi. Today I am going to speak about economic aspects of agriculture in India, its current scenario, future challenges. Agriculture in India has been a profession for thousands of years. Presently, our country holds the second position in agricultural production all over the world. Indian agriculture has made rapid strides since independence, from food shortage and import to self-sufficiency and exports. From subsistence farming to intensive technology-led cultivation, today India is in the front-ranking producer of many crops in the world. Ushered through the green, white, blue, and yellow revolutions, Indian agriculture has come a long way since the inception of planning in 1951. We faced nightmare of absolute shortage of food grain supplies in 1960s when the average annual import of wheat hovered around 3 million tons. The post-independence development of Indian agriculture can be broadly grouped into four phases. The first phase, which started from 1947 to 1964, was the Nehruvian era, where the major emphasis was on the development of infrastructure for scientific agriculture and large expansion of area under irrigation. During this period, our population started to increase by over 3% a year. The growth in food production was inadequate to meet the consumption needs of the growing population, and food import became essential. The large import of food grains in the wake of successive droughts in the mid-60s and the unacceptably high political costs that it entailed pushed the government towards bold strategy for achieving self-sufficiency in food grains through the Green Revolution by stepping up investments in irrigation, evolving and applying high-yielding varieties of seeds. So now coming to the present stage, the area under food grains has more or less remained constant at around 125 million hectares since 1970s. The agricultural is taking place at a time when international prices of major fruit grains are going up steadily, partly owing to the use of grain for ethanol production. Land for food versus fuel is becoming a major issue. For example, the export price of wheat has risen from $197 per ton in 2005 to 263 in 2007. Maize price has gone up as well from 100 in 2005 to 166 tons now. International trade is also becoming free but not fair, unfortunately. There also has been a possibility of adverse changes in rainfall, temperature, and sea level rising as a result of global warming. Compounding these problems, there is every likelihood of going back to the pre-independence situation of recurrent famines. The grain mountains have disappeared, and we are today in an era of diminishing grain reserves, escalating prices, and persistence of widespread undernutrition. Features of existing agricultural policies, several policy instruments for achieving a above set of objectives has been tried and used in India. The instruments which are currently in use are as follows. So like fixation and announcement of minimum support price for 24 commodities before sowing, and maturing arrangements for the purchases of farm produce at these prices in case market price dips below these levels. Then the second one will be selective intervention in the market for some commodities under market intervention scheme of Government of India. Open market operation by public agencies, cooperative for commodities like public agencies and cooperatives for commodities like raw cotton, oilseeds, copra, etc. Buffer stocking of food grains, especially of wheat and rice. Public distribution of certain commodities like wheat and rice at subsidized rate. Levy of rice sugar mills, factories, and distribution of levy sugar at subsidized prices, etc. So apart from these, there have been several other policies in place, such as creation of infrastructure facilities for improving marketing, such as market yards and sub yards in primary produce markets, roads, communication facilities, and dissemination of market infrastructure, encouraging cooperatives in agricultural development and marketing, regulation of exports and imports. So now coming to the future challenges, India needs to shift from basic farming to more efficient, sustainable, and productive farming. Unfortunately, today's agricultural policies have failed to recognize how crop choices, input costs, and the supply chain are intertwined, perpetuating marginal farming. Moreover, growing food, more growing food is growing more food isn't the solution to provide employment. There has been enough food, especially considering calories as opposed to the micronutrients. Exports are possible but require extensive addition, and it is not clear how much of this is going to benefit the farmer as opposed to the producer, processor, or trader. Fundamentally, India must also figure out a way to provide meaningful employment to hundreds or millions of people outside agriculture. Failing to do so means not just failure of human development, it represents a political, if not social aspects of it, of underemployment and disaffected youth are a national security threat as well. Uh, so yeah, so that was about uh, economical aspects of Indian agriculture and its future challenges.